Hello YouTube fans, and as you see, I've got a new look, that being new sunshades. I actually lost my other ones by accident, but accidents happen. And now I'm going to talk about a classic, that being the Fry. Now people say the 1958 Fry is a classic, and I agree. I love the 1958 The Fry. But in all fairness, I've got them all. The 58 The Fry, Return of the Fry and Curse of the Fry. But the one I'm reviewing is a classic 1986 Jeff Goldblum's The Fry. Now where can I begin? It was taken from a Playboy magazine in the 1950s. Nope, not anything dirty. It was a small story called The Fry on a Playboy magazine. It would later in 1958 become the movie The Fry. Then into the 80s, Jeff Goldblum decided to do a remake of The Fry. I thought he was a big lover of the 50s one. Now as you know, I'm not normally a lover of remakes. I fucking think they suck. But on this occasion, even though I still love the 58 The Fry, Return of the Fry was a step down, and Curse of the Fry, yeah. But the 58 one I still love. But I do admit that the 80s one, the one by David Goldblum, was a better film. Why, are you wondering? Well, simply because it made Jeff Goldblum. Granted, Jeff Goldblum's been in films well before The Fry, but he was in little small roles here, small roles there, comedies and things like that. It was only when The Fry came out, it made his name. And not only did it make his name, but it made Geena Davis's name. Again, she did small roles here, small roles there, comedies and even in TV shows. It was only when The Fry came out, it made her name. And to me, it was a date couple. It starts off, as you know, Jeff Goldblum as a scientist. She's going to, as a reporter, going to a scientist's place to look at experiments. At first she thinks that Jeff Goldblum is just trying to chat her up. Simply so. He takes her to his place to show her these pods that can transport one item to another item. Similar to like it was in the 50s one, but with different names and a different story. At first he goes mad because he don't want to be noticed, but as the film goes on he says, yeah, retard me, take me messages and sell them. So she does. He does at first turn an ape inside out. As you know, the famous scene where he turns a monkey inside out. I also remember the scene where Geena Davis says, how does it make you feel? Fuck is how I feel. I do actually like The Fry. I remember renting it on the golden days of video, but before we did, I do remember renting The Fry too, so I do know that The Fry did not have a happy ending after watching The Fry 2. And as it says in the trailer, and as Geena Davis says, don't be afraid, be very, very, very afraid. And how can you forget them great special effects, the monkey turning inside out and the changing of Jeff Goldblum. Now Jeff Goldblum didn't want it to be like the 58 one, you know, Jeff Goldblum coming out of the pod with the Fry's head. Yeah, it was a classic and we all remember the famous 50s one. But in all fairness, the 50s one is dated. Because all it is a guy walking around with a fucking bag on his head. You don't really get the Fry's head until nearly at the end of the film. In this, his personality changes, he's bad-tempered, he's hyperactive, and he thinks he's getting special powers. He thinks he's getting stronger and he's becoming a better man. What he doesn't realise is it's changing him, as we all know, into a fucking bug. The makeup is beautiful. The famous scene where his ear tops off and he's vomiting. You do get one guy in it who is Geena Davis's ex-boyfriend and boss. At first you think he's a bit of a dick, but as the film goes on, and then you did The Fly too, you realise he's really not all that bad. And when it gets near to the end, you feel sorry for the poor guy. Let's not forget the scene when he vomits acid on his hand, acid on his ankle, and melts it. Ugh, even today that goes through me. But The Fly always had an art for me for them special effects. The gruesome, practical, and no, I do not fucking want to see another remake of The Fly, because I think Jeff Goldblum did it the right way. Now, as you know, there was a few deleted scenes of The Fly. A scene where the other monkey, the other orangutan what he had, he tries to jump to a companion. You can find them on YouTube. He does a thing where he transports one monkey to a tap, the go ape, and he bashes their heads in. Kind of happy it's not in the film because I don't think it was needed. There's a scene where Geena Davis has a dream about a baby butterfly. That's pretty funny. That's deleted out. And a few other deleted scenes, which funny enough, one of the deleted scenes would be later used in The Fly too. I always remember the rentable video of some of the ads, one of them being No Mercy, done film by Richard Gere and Tim Passenger. But yeah, The Fly, classic, the special effects. And I always remember the scene where basically he turns into that bug, he pulls his face off, and he wants to die. He wants to fucking die. So Geena Davis does the ultimate mercy killing. She hesitates, but she doesn't hesitate long enough, and she blows his fucking head off. There goes Jeff Goldblum's head. As we all know, he's a bug. It's a mercy killing. But I do like The Fly. I do remember the scene where the arm wrestles that guy. Snaps his fucking hand right to the bone. Now on the TV version there was about a few scenes cut down. You probably see them now uncut. But The Fly is a good film. It's got good practical effects. The guy, as we all know, who did the effects was the same guy who did the special effects in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He did the special effects to The Fly, as well as special effects to the Gremlins. And 2 years later, he'd do the special effects as well as direct. He would direct The Fly 2, a damn unestimated sequel, I may say. But I think it's a good performance by Geena Davis and a good performance by Jeff Goldblum. When he turns into the monster, the makeup and the changes, what he goes through, and again it's all fucking practical. Practical special effects I fucking miss. And if you want to be honest, this in my eyes is how you do a remake the fucking right way. Because I love The Fly that much, I'm going to give it a bid swapping 6-star rating. Because in my eyes the 58 one's a classic, the 1986 Jeff Goldblum The Fly is also a fucking classic. Other than that, I'll see you for some more reviews.